I also got my period back all within the same week. So that was super, super fun. Who am I outside of just being a mum? So she's just like chewing on her toys. The last month I haven't really trained. Why would I let other people's opinions of what I do in that 1%, 2%, trying to do the things that make me feel like me? So come along with me as I reset the house. I feel like I cannot focus when everything's everywhere. So I want to do a bit of a tidy. We just went on a morning walk. So I really just want to like freshen up a little bit, do some skincare, maybe do some makeup. I'm thinking about going into the office today for an hour to do some podcast recording. So I might do that today depending on time. And then I'll do a little bit of a check-in just to tell you where things have been at. So before we get into it, I'm going to pull a card from the Confident Woman deck, which I absolutely love. Liliana's just chilling out in her little rocker at the moment. She started like really putting toys towards her mouth. So she's just like chewing on her toys, which is the best because she's just self-entertaining, I think, in these little moments. So anyway, let me pull a card. What if I choose to take action? I feel like that's really fitting. 26. Have you been receiving frequent messages to act on an idea? Maybe a song on the radio triggered your awareness, or you overheard a conversation on the train, noticed a sign in the window, or perhaps you've just been having a continuous gut feeling. I've been knocking at your door for a little while, and I'm so glad you've become aware. It is I, your soul, speaking to you. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That idea you've been having, that one, that's right. Let's raise the bar by opening ourselves up to this possibility. When you focus on what you want to create, energy naturally starts to flow towards it, bringing it to you. The key is to keep this energy flowing. So I feel like this is such a fitting one because all in the last few months, I've started the podcast. I've started social media at the moment, which is kind of just sitting on private in the drafts. I guess waiting for me to feel confident enough to like release it. So I think like, yeah, all the future business ideas, that like inkling to create and put myself out there, which is terrifying. But I think like I've had that feeling for so long that there's a reason that I have like a pull to do that and to share my story and to, sorry, I don't have my mic, so don't mind Lil in the background. But yeah, I just have felt this pull to be creative and work on a project. And I think like being in early motherhood right now, it's just giving me that sense of purpose. So I feel like, yeah, that has been calling to me for a while. So I think like, yeah, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and doing the hard things and taking the leap of putting myself out there. And I think like at the end, that's it, baby. At the end of the day, like I think it's that inkling of like, I just want to support women to feel good in their lives, in their bodies, and their identity, and just know that like if there's things that they want to change in life, they can do it and they can feel empowered to do the hard things to get to places they want to be. Or even just like, I guess, working on their self-esteem and the way that they see themselves and their potential. And anyway, Lil's a bit talkative right now, so I'm going to get into the cleaning. All right, so we're going to start with the kitchen. It is absolutely a boy's job, I feel like, to clean the kitchen, but I'm going to step up today and try and get it done. I'm over it already. Okay, so I'm going to keep this short because I'm half watching Lil roll around on the floor. But I thought I would just give you a little bit of an update for, I guess, the 4-month mark while I do my makeup. So, the postpartum hair loss that people talk about, that I thought I was immune to, it's hit. It's hit this week. I also got my period back all within the same week, so that was super, super fun. I recently got an IUD, so I thought like, oh, it must just be the expected spotting that I was supposed to have. But then I realised that, yeah, it was definitely a bit heavier, and at 4 months we have our period. So that's fun. But I've also been like really someone who's always tracked my cycle, so it's, I guess, nice to know where I'm at, but at the same time, it's like pretty early, you know? So yeah, I noticed it was trying to make a return. I think the last like month or two, I've had a bit of cramping, which I thought was a bit random. I guess that's just my body going back into its rhythm, which isn't the worst thing, but I guess like when you breastfeed, you expect to maybe be one of those people that just doesn't get a period for a year. But anyway, everything else has been pretty good. I think like I spoke about it last time, but I'm definitely starting to get that sort of in that mindset of like, oh my gosh, I've just had a baby and everyone's life has returned to normal. Which, yeah, I think it's completely normal to be sitting in that for a few months, I think. Like, it's not a bad thing. It's just, I guess, trying to find my new normal. Also, as soon as you get used to everything, I feel like it really quickly happens where they're older and you're in a new phase. So like you never really are in your new normal, because as soon as you are, things just change again, which isn't the worst thing. Like, I absolutely love it so much, but I think like with who I am as a person, I've had to really surrender, which is my word of the year, to all the seasons and the phases, and just not expect everything to be like smooth sailing and steady, which I guess like being someone who has always been such a planner and has like done everything in my power to control the controllables. Yeah, I've just had to like reach that point of I guess allowing things to just be and not expecting to ever settle, I think, which is big for me to really, I guess, be okay with, because I always I loved feeling like everything was done and organized and everything was perfectly balanced. But even before kids, in my first like year and a half of my career job after uni, I was still struggling to find balance then. So it's like, well, I'm not going to find it now, and that's okay. And I think it's surrendering to that and just prioritizing what I can and just doing those things. So yeah, I think it's all been positive. Like, I think just leaning into my new reality, and yeah, I think having those things to look forward to as well. I wanted to really strength train this year, and I feel like I'm slowly easing back into that at the moment. I think like for the last month I haven't really trained because I kept waiting for the perfect moment, like for my partner to be home, and his work days kept changing. So I think like as soon as I would rely on that bit of time, things would change again. And then I was never able to get into any sort of routine, which is just like fine. It's where things were at. But I think I've stopped relying on external factors and just started to prioritize like that bit of movement. At the moment, I am doing my morning walk, which is perfect for Lil's nap. But then by the time that I return, she usually wakes up anyway. But even if I get 2 sets in, I'm just trying to get into the habit of like parking the pram and then doing like a set or 2, or doing multiple if I have the time. I'm sorry if this is really chaotic. I keep jumping out to check on her. But yeah, I think it's just one of those things where, yeah, like it's just adjusting, and it's realizing that things aren't just going to settle and be perfectly in tune. Like, I need to just accept where I'm at and just realize that I can just be in the present and enjoy her being this young, and she's the most happy, chill baby ever. So I think like really just soaking up those bits of time, but equally trying to do the things that make me feel like me. Even this podcast, and just like having that little bit of like strength training where I feel like I'm, you know, sort of working on my goal of building muscle without like having this rigid schedule, or realizing that if I can only do a little bit, what's the point? Because I'm not like actively working on that goal in every way that I can, but I'm just not in that season where I can give one thing everything anymore, except my daughter. So, and that's just my focus at the moment, I think, is just being as present with her as I can, but also owing it to myself to still, you know, see my friends and, you know, connect to people outside of just having days where I'm not really doing too much or seeing anyone, which is definitely a balance because I want to make sure that I'm doing things that I enjoy and filling my own cup. And it's like that card that I pulled at the start of this video. It's like I've had this creative pull to work on my own stuff for so long and to like branch out and do the creative things that I want to do to support other women who maybe are in similar chapters of life or are maybe wanting to like work on their body and their mental health and all those things that I've gone on the journey on and will forever be on that journey. So yeah, I think I'm just starting to find my purpose in those ways because it is very, like, is a huge identity change becoming a mum, stepping out of your career and going, well, what's next for me? Or who am I outside of just being a mum? So I think like that is something that's so important to me is, I guess, leaning into taking care of yourself without feeling guilty, which we will feel guilty, but I think it's like exercising that muscle. Like the more you do it and the more that you trust yourself and know that I don't need a reason for that except taking my downtime, that's okay. Like we're actually allowed to be human beings outside of being a mum. So that's been my main focus at the moment. And I'm a good mum for it. Like I know that I'm with her 99% of the time. Why would I let other people's opinions of what I do in that 1%, 2% impact how I believe that I am as a mum just because I'm getting my workout in, even when she's staring at me? Like I think people just have this opinion of you when you are working towards your goals that, oh, well, you must be, you know, neglecting your kids then. And obviously I'm in a season of life where I don't have multiple children running around, and we'll navigate that when we get there. But yeah, I think like just taking it as I come and not getting too caught up in the future, because I think it's been easy for me to go, well, I'm not going to be able to do this when this happens, or how am I going to go when she's at this age? But it's like, you'll get there. Like, who cares? It's going to be her, but bigger, and you're not going to be the same mum that you are now because you're going to be growing. So yeah, I think just like taking it a day at a time, a week at a time, and just trying to be the best version of myself by allowing myself space to be myself. So yeah, it's been such a privilege, I think, at the moment to just be in this season of just like bonding with my girl, and she's getting older, so it's been more fun to play with her and read her books, because I started reading her books as a newborn, which I know people say isn't necessary, but from her just being like this baby that would stare past me to now like engaged in the book that I'm showing her and touching it and wanting to feel it, like that has been so amazing, seeing her grow and just yeah, I guess be more interactive and like have her personality shine through. Like that has been such a privilege to watch her grow and to care for her, and just, yeah, it's been incredible. I think those are my main updates at the moment. I really just wanted to lean into, I guess, like my calling at the moment, which is, I think, like just going inward right now. Like I think that I had moments where my weeks were like so full on and I just had something on every day, which for some people gives them meaning in this season of being on maternity leave. Like I understand that, but for me, I was like, actually, I just need more time at home with no plans to just like think, I guess, and create and do all these things that I'm really wanting to do, which at the moment is just like having quiet time while she plays and I colour in, and I'm working on my document for all my future ideas and things like that, like that is what brings me purpose right now, and sprinkling in the social interaction in between is amazing. But I think like, again, it's like everything, sometimes you do too much of something or not enough, and it's like that push-pull where you're trying to find that balance of what feels good for you. So anyway, that's sort of the simple makeup routine. Hope that didn't get in my drink. Anyway, we'll leave it at makeup for now. Oh my God. Okay, don't mind the hair. I've had a bit of a change of plan, so I'm not going to go and record this afternoon. So it was kind of a waste doing my makeup because all I'm doing is my afternoon walk. But I thought it might make me feel a bit better to just put on a bit of an outfit. Feel a bit nice this afternoon going on the walk. I'm definitely going to be in a hoodie anyway because it's so cold and windy. But thank you so much for watching. I think it was really nice to just do a little bit of a, I was going to say sit down catch up, but an on the go catch up. And just tell you a little bit about where I'm at the moment and some things I'm working on behind the scenes. But yeah, thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you on the next one.